The athletic trainers are rushing to the kid that's screaming, not the kid that's just lying motionless, which that doesn't really make sense to me, but that's what happened. So
that's what we want to do here. We want to take you to the next level. We want you to achieve your goals. Coming to you live from FXV Digital Design in beautiful Wyomissing, Pennsylvania, it's Fred Talk, the awesome podcast featuring awesome people in our community. Visit us online at fxvdigital.com and your favorite social networks at FXV Digital. Please make sure you like, subscribe, and hit that notification button. I am your host, Freddie Vasquez, and with me is my producer and cuter half, Angie Wicks.
Ow!
Woo!
Ow!
Today, our guest is a man who is probably the biggest soccer fan that I know. Has an affinity for Scott Weiland and STP, Stone Temple Pilots, and has constantly stated that chiropractic care has saved his life. Please welcome to the show, Dr. Jason Balthaser, baby. What's up, bro?
Thank you. That's quite the intro.
Yeah, man. I actually sat down today. I was like, I should write something. So it's not so freaking lame.
I feel like I need to have that on repeat as I enter my office every day.
I'll do that.
That was nice.
You can get it. Andrew will send you a copy. You can loop it. Or it's like every time somebody walks in, it goes off. Instead of a bell,
absolutely. Like Rocky Balboa coming out of the stadium there.
For sure. Well, thanks for coming on, bro.
Thanks for having me.
Appreciate it. And I feel honored that this is your first podcast.
It is my first one. Yeah, no, this is great. I'm excited.
Right on, man. Well, I'm glad I get to pop your cherry tonight.
Thank you.
So it's always an honor.
You'd be the only one. I'd love to do that. So.
Yeah. Hey, there you go. This is already starting out great. This is what happens at 8 o'clock now. You get the good stuff. The 1:30s were like, all right, 8 o'clock's like, all right, I got a full day in me. Let it all out. So let's just get into it, man. So you're a PA native.
I am.
I know you're Burnville proud.
Berks County, Burnville, born and raised.
And you're a Balthaser.
I am a Balthaser, yes.
So what's it like growing up Balthaser, man?
Oh, man. I love growing up here. I love growing up in Burnville, and I know we've shared stories about that a lot. But yes. I always kind of wanted to be and stay in this area, and I'm proud that I've been able to fortunately do that. I did move away for a little bit, when I went to chiropractic school, and that was great.
Right on.
Went away to undergraduate school up at Bloomsburg, which isn't too far away. But no, it's been for real. It's been great.
Yeah, in Bloomsburg, you went there. I know you love that place because that's like the only pennant you have in the whole office. I'm like, hey, Bloomsburg.
Part of that, I'd probably add more, really just wall space,
Right.
Hey, I had that like sitting in my house. I'm like, I'm proud I went to Bloomsburg. I really feel fortunate that I had the chance to go there, and I was really proud of my educational experience and just experience I had as a whole there. So. And
Bloomsburg is local, you said?
Not really local. So it's central Pennsylvania. So I always describe it as, one, if you've ever been to Knoebels. Okay, Knoebels is a amusement park, central PA. You're 25, 30 minutes away is Bloomsburg University.
All right,
about 45 minutes from State College.
And that's Penn State, right?
That's Penn State,
Okay, right on. Yeah. I've never been to Knoebels.
Okay.
Well, you know my story.
Yeah, exactly.
So I guess I got to go there.
It's an experience. I mean, if for an amusement park thing, it's not bad.
Yeah, it's free, right?
It's free. So you go there and you get like tickets, kind of like an old, like you go to a fair or something like that. Right. So if you want to ride a ride, every ride's a different amount of points or dollar amount. And so you can kind of pick and choose. So you can go there and you can camp, or you can just kind of hang out and like they have vending food and stuff like that. Or you can, pay a pretty small monetary amount to have a great experience.
All right, we'll check out Knoebels.
Absolutely.
But so you went to Bloomsburg, but you were in the ATL. You had to go and...
I did go to the ATL. Jumped Berks County and went to Atlanta, Georgia for my chiropractic school experience.
Hot Atlanta.
A little different from Berks County.
I would say so.
But also great experience, great people. I love that area. We thought about even considering staying there upon graduation. Because we loved it that much. Definitely, I have a new appreciation, love for the South, and the cuisine is amazing. If you ever get a chance, go to Atlanta. I can hook you guys up with a lot of great recommendations.
I know. I was there for like, what was it, 3 days?
Yeah. When it was in family.
Yeah, with my nephew had a little travel team tournament or something down there. And I was like so excited to get down there, and I was like, oh wait, I got to go to these games.
Yeah.
So which is cool, but I had to I know nothing about the food. And I was so bummed out. Awesome. And I was like, I know I'm missing out on like tons of stuff right now.
What I loved about Atlanta, and I actually would compare it somewhat to Pittsburgh. And my wife Sarah, did her master's at Pittsburgh, so I spent a lot of time there. And Pittsburgh, the city is kind of built up with communities.
Yeah.
So like no one really goes to downtown Pittsburgh unless you're like going to like a business type of thing. No one lives there. No one goes to hang out at night there.
Like Wall Street.
Yeah, exactly.
City, right? Yeah.
So like you have the stadiums like kind of in downtown Pittsburgh, but Atlanta's kind of built up the same into different communities. So like, yeah, people live in the city of Atlanta, but it's made up with like all these different communities, and each community has like a different cuisine to it, or different culture, different feel. So it's really cool.
Yeah, I know when I went down to Atlanta, I was fortunate enough to check out Martin Luther King's childhood neighborhood.
Yeah.
Holy crap, man. That was killer.
Yeah.
I think it was the last day or the first day. I forget what it was. I was there earlier. I don't remember, but I had time to kill.
Yeah.
And I went I was like, well, I'm going to go there.
Absolutely.
Got an Uber.
Right.
The driver was super friendly.
Yeah.
This awesome black lady. She was great. And then I got out, and the first thing I saw was like the memorial.
Yeah.
With him and his wife.
With the flame.
Yeah, the flames and the water. And then I was like, all right, let me go to check out his old neighborhood. And I remember calling Jill right away. I was like, you will not believe what I'm looking at right now.
Yeah.
It's like just stuck in time.
Yeah.
And I was just walking up and down this block, and I was like, this is just phenomenal.
That's something, and I'm a history buff, and I think that's one of the reasons I like Berks County is just the really rich history it has from back to the Revolutionary time to present. But that's something I loved about Atlanta is they really kept their history there. Yeah. And Atlanta, actually, the city. So a little history lesson for you here. So Atlanta was actually burnt down during the Civil War, and then it was rebuilt. So like there's not a lot of like historical buildings or anything like that prior to the Civil War because it was demolished as the soldiers came through. But when they got to Savannah, Georgia, Savannah's a really cool place to check out too. They felt that it was too beautiful to burn.
Wow.
So there's a lot of like historical buildings and everything in Savannah, but Atlanta is actually fairly new since late 1800s.
Yeah, I didn't see any other than Martin Luther King's neighborhood. It seemed pretty modern. Like I was walking around the whole place. I'm like, not that I was expecting history, but
right. It's not like Philadelphia with the cobblestone streets type of thing. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Philly's cool for that.
Yeah.
A lot of parts of New York City is cool for that. But we've talked about history in the past too. Like one of our bucket list items is doing like the World War II tour in Europe.
Oh my God. Yeah. I would love that.
Oh yeah. I told you, I was like, that's happening.
Yeah.
I don't know when.
Yeah.
It's definitely with you. And like, if they want to come with us, that's cool. If
cool.
they don't want to come with us, they can stay home.
That's fine. I think we can find plenty of things in Europe to have fun with.
No, because I definitely want to do that whole thing. I'm really big into that whole. There's a great YouTube channel too. I forget the guy's name. He has a great channel where he actually goes to all those, does everything we want to do.
Yeah.
He's been to Normandy.
Yeah.
He's been to he did like the Band of Brothers tour.
That's awesome.
Like Bastogne and all those places. Like it's killer. And he even did the Ford Theater where Lincoln got assassinated, which is right in D.C. And I'm like, dude, it's in D.C. What are you doing here?
We're right there.
I know, it's so stupid.
My grandmother always told me that she liked to travel, but she liked to travel domestically. I honestly don't even know if she ever really left the country. And we always be talking like, oh, I got fortunate, played soccer in England and stuff, and hey, I'm going to England and I want to check out all these places. And she's like, we have so much things to check out in America. Why don't you just do that? Or why wouldn't you want to do that versus going over to like Italy? And I'm like, you're kind of right. But Italy would still be pretty sweet.
Yeah, Angie went to Italy.
Italy was pretty sweet.
She loved it.
Yeah,
I really have not traveled a lot internationally. So that's my wife. Other hand, she's been to every country under the sun. Has worked in several countries.
Really?
I'm hoping that's something that we can do moving forward. But
wait, where did Sarah work internationally?
So Sarah has her her master's in public health. So prior to being a chiropractor and building core health with me, she was contracted by several different agencies, the UN being one of them.
Okay, that's
and
really cool.
She wrote health policy for various governments and organizations. So She actually used to travel
Dr.
to.
Sarah is smart as frick.
She is.
She didn't tell me any of this.
She should really she should be here, not me. She's the interesting one. I'm the boring one.
No.
But no, she actually used to go to Uganda quite often.
Oh wow.
And one of the last projects she worked on was writing health policy between gang members in Uganda and the government agencies to have them come together.
That's really
intense. Who is this chick?
Right.
All I've ever known of Sarah is like she likes eating like I do,
Yes.
and she likes doing crafts.
Yes.
Likes making babies.
She loves all that. She's
proud of her Jewish heritage.
Part of Jewish heritage, absolutely. And she actually did study abroad in Italy.
That's
as well.
So cool.
She
Yeah. When I went to Italy, I hit Rome, Venice, and where else did I go? I went to another one. I forget off the top of my head. Rome, Venice, and Florence. There it is.
That's awesome.
And Pompeii. I hit Pompeii
How was
for
the
a
food?
day. It was amazing.
I'm like salivating as you're like saying these places because I love food.
No, yeah. The last day we were
especially
there,
Italian food.
Yeah, the last day we were there, we sat canal side at Venice and ate pasta. And my grandmother, she got seafood risotto. There was like a giant ass prawn on the top of it, and it was awesome. It was so amazing because in Italy and like Europe, there's no like preservatives or pesticides or like whatever.
I don't even know what that is.
Yeah, it's all fresh, so it just tasted fresh. It tasted good. It's not like Kraft mac and cheese from a box. Like it's real food.
Yep.
So it was awesome. And Atlanta is actually my next destination that I'm going to.
Well, I have a list.
That is where I'll be heading next.
But don't be knocking Kraft mac and cheese.
I mean, exactly.
No, not
grew up on the box.
There's something to be said about Cocoa Pebbles. I'm just saying.
Oh yeah, definitely. You know, in Europe they don't have Lucky Charms. I just learned that.
I'm not surprised.
Oh, because of preservatives again?
Like.
I guess, but I saw it on Instagram. Just thought I'd share.
You learn something new every day.
So I gotta get Sarah on this show.
Yeah, I'm gonna say she doesn't talk about it enough, and when you talk about like health policy, masters of public health, like the people, and I don't want to get too much into politics or anything, that are making decisions today with health, they have masters of public health. So that is Sarah's degree.
That's so cool.
Yep. And she actually went to this, at the time, I couldn't tell you where it is now, but University of Pittsburgh, they had like the first or second highest rated school for public health in the country. So
she should be next in line after Fauci.
Yep. I tried to beg you to bring Sarah in. I was like, why can't Jason and Sarah
she puts
come?
me to shame.
Sarah, I didn't really want to invite her right away because,
I'm cool.
Kids and there's that, but kids and stuff.
Yeah. The kiddos are probably going to bed as we speak. Well, fighting going to bed as we speak.
Yes, exactly.
Yes, our kids have a late bedtime.
But so you did bring up that you played soccer in Europe.
Yeah, so
and that's like your big thing is soccer. And for you people that don't know, he takes it like I take baseball, super seriously. But I seen even the other side of Jason because Jill and I went to one of your games a few months ago, and you were like a totally different dude.
Yeah,
I was like, that's my friend Jason. That's Dr. Jason out there, but that's not Dr. Jason out there. She's yelling at people, yelling at women, because it was like a co-ed team yelling at women. Lay down on this side, left side, right side. I'm like, this guy is fucking crazy.
In my defense, it was playoffs, and playoffs is a different scenario. But I can get intense. So one of the rich histories about Tulpahawk and where I went to school is it's a soccer school. We don't have a football team. If we would have had football, I probably would have played it. To be quite honest, I love football. It's funny that you say I love soccer. I love it. I do not like watching soccer as much. I'll watch it.
Interesting.
Oh yeah, Jill did tell us this.
Yes, I do enjoy a game. Part of it is because I get frustrated watching it because I feel like I could probably not. I'm an old guy now, but I feel like I could have did that. Yeah. Even though I couldn't have because I did not have that skill level whatsoever. But I enjoy actually watching football better than soccer. Playing wise, I love playing soccer.
Yes, and you played for that was your whole career was really soccer, playing in school. And then you had a chance and you told me these stories about playing across the pond. So
yeah, at Tulpahawk, we had a little program that was really cool. I think Conrad Weiser does it as well. maybe Fleetwood, but I think those are the three main schools, and they're all known for soccer. There's actually a huge rivalry, not as big as it was, but majority of like my childhood, it was like you got to beat Fleetwood.
Right.
Fleetwood was like from little on up. I'm talking like under sixes. We have a game against Fleetwood. You're getting hyped for that game, and you got to beat them. But we all had an opportunity where our coaches took us overseas, and we got trained by various English coaches, Irish coaches, Scottish coaches. And one of the best trips of my life, best experiences of my life, I was fortunate in the fact that the high school kids got to go. I got to go with the high school kids when I was in junior high. So that was really cool experience. I was playing like with 18-year-olds when I was 12 in England.
Wow.
Let them know, Jason.
Yeah,
Let 'em know.
exactly. It was really cool. But yeah, we spent maybe about a month, 2 weeks to a month there, and traveled. You want to talk history? I appreciated history at the time. I wish, and my coaches always said this, you won't appreciate this now, but you will regret it if you don't go check this out, later in life. Right. So like Buckingham Palace and, all the cathedrals and everything. And we checked it all out, and I probably didn't have as much of an appreciation for it at the time. I'd rather just go hang out with my buddies or go out there and play. But, it was a really cool experience.
Yeah. I mean, I grew up here, obviously, America, my whole life.
Yeah.
We're not that old. No. Like, at all.
It's funny you say that. One of my, I personally trained when I was in chiropractic school to get me kind of when I was working, and I took care of the CFO of the university. And at the time, Life University, where I was attending chiropractic school, they were trying to start a European campus in Italy. And he came back, after several sessions, he's like, we have zero history here, because like he's touring Italy. And, you're going back to Caesar and, the Roman Empire and, you're going back, BC time frame. We look at our history, 1776 and a little bit before that,
Yeah, that's it, man.
It's crazy.
Yeah, we got nothing here, which is why I can't wait to even just go anywhere as far as Europe. I can only imagine what it's like just to walk those streets or like check out, the UK I want to see Germany. I want to see Portugal. I want to see Italy. I want to see Spain. I
will say this. When I was a kid was the first time I realized that there are people that do not like Americans.
Well, yeah.
I'm a 12-year-old kid in England. That we got chased. One of our teammates got clubbed in the head.
Oh. They sound so welcome.
We needed escorts after we would beat people playing on the field. So yeah, it's interesting.
I think he told me that.
Yeah.
Yeah, they didn't like that you won.
Yeah. And they also had to people would like steal the nets after like games and stuff, like because we played in like some slum areas, and like the hot commodity was like for them to like steal all the like stuff on the field. So they had to like put nets up prior to the game to play and like escort us out. I broke a kid's leg playing the game there. My mom actually caught a cool picture of me like diving and the kid like screaming in pain. Yeah. It wasn't on purpose. It was in the heat of the moment. I didn't take the picture. Blame Mama Balthaser.
Thanks, Mom.
Yeah.
Blame Mama Balthaser.
Yeah. But no, it was a really cool experience.
We do have a couple of comments from Facebook that I think are funny.
I love this. So is it my wife?
Yes. So Jill said, Jason's hair looks amazing. Let him know. And then Sarah and myself both laughed at that comment. Sarah said this is all sponsored by Knobles because we were talking about it earlier. So
brings us back to Wayne's World, man. You gotta
So then that, and then Stefano said like the stealing the nets and shit, like that's actually real in France, and it happened when he was there.
It's a thing. Yeah, it really is.
That's mind-boggling to me that they're that petty that they'll steal the actual net and then club people in the head because they won.
Yeah, actually, the person that got clubbed is the current head coach of Topahakan soccer.
Oh, there you go.
Stop, that's crazy.
They literally ran up behind him and.
And for those that don't know, Core Health Chiropractic does sponsor Topa Soccer.
Yeah, there you go. Next sponsorship right there. Yeah, we are the proud sponsors of Topahakan and soccer and Reading Rage soccer.
Man, probably because of the clubbing.
Exactly.
Oh my gosh, it sounds like you just like club soccer players so that you can help them get adjusted.
You know what? Business.
Gotta keep that money coming in. I get it.
Right.
Absolutely.
And shout out to Ryan Terrason for hooking my man Jason up with his cut, modern traditional coming through.
It's amazing. They squeezed me in. I was not looking pretty, and they made me look pretty. So
there you go.
Very good. Thank you, Ryan.
According to Jill.
This is Ryan.
Best barber in Berks County.
There it is. My man Ryan. What's
you heard
up?
it here first, folks.
I've been to many barbers. Best barber.
Oh boy, we can get into that.
That's another podcast.
That's another podcast of customer service.
Absolutely.
It's a customer service podcast. We'll bring in a few people for that one. So you played soccer.
Yes.
You love playing soccer.
Yes.
Now, please correct me if I'm wrong, but you got hurt playing soccer.
Yes, I had sustained several injuries. Starting way, I mean, I played soccer since I was 4 years old. My first opportunity at getting recruited was when I was about 12, 13. So I always played up. As you heard, I played with 18-year-olds. So
right.
I played up with, again, 16, 18-year-olds at a tournament, and college coaches started getting interested. My position was goalkeeping, so I don't know who all knows soccer and everything, but you kind of get knocked around a little bit.
I would say so.
It takes a certain individual to throw yourself on the ground repeatedly and getting knocked in the head. So I unfortunately sustained a lot of head traumas and concussions. Excuse me, man. Do not drink decaf coffee at this hour. So yeah, I got injured, which kind of eventually led me into finding chiropractic and getting a lot of education in our health system and medical system, the good, the bad, and the ugly at times. So, yeah.
Right, and that's why I wanted to segue into
Sure.
that, was because we've had that conversation. We've talked about, your past and what led you to chiropractic care, and I still remember the first time I met you, because I met Sarah first.
Yes.
And Sarah gave me a shot. Sarah gave me a shot. I met her at PAC, and we had a great first meeting. I actually found the picture again the other day. I showed Jill. Like, this is the first time I met Sarah. We took a picture
saw that picture.
Day.
I remember that. Yeah,
that was a cool day, man. And she's like, okay, let's just try some stuff together. I think we were just doing like social media or something. This is like noob days. Yeah. And I'm pretty sure
making a MySpace or something.
Yeah, right. I know for a fact, like that was you guys were like my first clients, really Core Health.
I did not know that. Wow.
Yeah, first real clients here, and that's how long I've been with you. I mean, you guys have been with us for a long time now.
2015, 2016, probably.
Yeah, it's been a minute. Yeah. So, so with that being said, she had to go to PAC, and she was going ahead, and she brought you in this time because she was doing a presentation. You guys were the featured speakers that day.
Yes.
And when that happened, I was like totally blown away by your presentation that day.
Thank you.
Because you were sitting there and you started talking about chiropractic care, and you're so passionate about chiropractic care, and I was like, who is this dude? Because I didn't know you yet. I just knew Sarah.
Just Jenny from the block, man.
That's and it was very cool to see, man, because you don't. I'm not saying people don't love their gigs, they don't love their careers, but when you truly see passion and you truly see care about helping people essentially, and I think that's why I was even more drawn to you, because even though I'm like a marketing dude, I love helping people.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, I'm like crazy with that stuff. So I want you to let us know about, or tell our awesome audience here about like what your story is with that, how you got hurt, and how unfortunately you fell victim to like pills and opiates to get yourself through all that. Yeah. So like tell us about that story, man. Lay it out for us.
Yeah, absolutely. So as I mentioned, I had a lot of head traumas, playing soccer. At the time, everyone thinks of concussion. You obviously think of football and things of that nature. And, a lot of the concussion protocols have been based upon a lot of the football athletes that have now came forward with, CTE, which is brain damage, more or less. And so the protocols for evaluating a player were a lot different when I played to what they are today. If you have any even signaling of a concussion, even in the NFL, they pull you.
Yep.
So that did not happen until, I'd say, the last 5, maybe 7 years.
Yeah, very recent.
So, we go back to high school, even before that. I mean, I got hit in the head repeatedly growing up, because you got balls flying at your head, right?
Yeah.
Or cleats flying at your head. So I remember I don't remember, but first time I really would call it a concussion, where I don't remember things and blacked out. So I know I was playing Boyertown, and I was a freshman in high school, and I got cracked in the head. I was completely knocked out unconscious. I don't remember that. This is coming from, people telling me afterwards, etc. The person that hit me broke his collarbone. Damn. Against my head. So that person's conscious, he's screaming and wailing and everything else. I'm there flat, like I'm out. So my cousin played soccer with me, and eventually I guess I'm coming to. He literally pushes me to the ground and calls the coach over, because the athletic trainers are rushing to the kid that's screaming, not the kid that's just lying motionless, which that doesn't really make sense to me, but that's what happened. So coach comes to, ask me questions, I'm sure, and then I go out of the game because you have to. They stop play. I pop right back in again. So I don't remember that game. The next day, my parents probably don't even know this, but the next day I got dressed to go to the game because I didn't know that it was a Sunday. The game was on a Saturday. And so that's the first experience I had. So that was probably the first concussion. Right. Since that time, people, and I ask these questions too, when do you first remember experience whatever pain or ailment? And there's a lot more to chiropractic than pain, but that's a whole different podcast we can get into. But that's the first time I remember really starting to get headaches. Mm-hmm. I probably got headaches, some migraines occasionally throughout high school. And then by the time I finished my college career, I probably sustained with losing some form of consciousness or getting blows to the head, at least 8 to 10. I'm guessing. Maybe more, maybe a little bit less. But at that time, I was getting debilitating migraine headaches. So I graduate. I worked for Lebanon Veterans Hospital, and it was the point that I was dizzy, sometimes vomiting, couldn't do chart notes. I was working in physical therapy, and just horrible experience. So in that process, you get triaged, obviously. The worst case scenario, you think you have migraines, you're vomiting, etc. Ideally, you think you have a brain tumor, right? Right. So you get scanned for all that. You get your brain MRI, CT scans, everything comes back normal, thank God, which is great. But if that happens, then the medical protocol at that time, and I couldn't necessarily tell you what it is, but I was put on Vicodin intermittently since my teen years for these issues. I was on, I'll call it a cocktail of about 14 medications that I would take daily at times. I was on dailies. I was on what's called a board of medications, when you get things. And literally the doctor said, this pill will just knock you out. So if you need to get knocked out, just take the pill, you get knocked out. So I was going through that process in my early 20s, probably 4 or 5 years. So you can imagine, and I'm still getting migraines and headaches. These pills are just making me a zombie and kind of getting through the workday type of thing. So obviously irritability, etc. And through this process, somehow I started dating my wife. Fortunately, she knew me prior to severely debilitated, concussed migraine Jason. So she knew I was a cool dude, I guess, maybe. I don't know. She's married me, so I guess so.
I guess so.
That
could be another podcast, too.
We have I think we built 20 podcasts in this discussion already.
Yep.
So I remember distinctly, we were in the Target complex getting sushi, I want to say, at a sushi restaurant that's not there anymore. And she's talking to me. I'm comprehending what she's saying, but I can't verbalize what she's saying because I'm that doped up on all these medications. And then all of a sudden, I just start crying, and I don't know why. Wow. Because I can't verbalize to her. And I'm being seen by medical doctors. I'm getting seen by neurologists. I'm getting seen by chiropractors at this point in time too. And then I'm getting seen at Thomas Jefferson University Hospital, has a specialty headache clinic. And the answer at that clinic to me was, well, let's increase your dosage. Or, let's do this drug in addition to this drug. I'm on all these cocktails. And I'm in my early 20s, and I'm thinking to myself, well, this is my life in my early 20s. What does 30 look like? What does 40 look like? And I said, I had enough. Sarah actually helped me come to that decision, but I had enough of it. I'm like, take me off the drugs. Because if I'm still having the pain, I'm still having the issues.
What's the point?
Why am I toxifying my body to the point of where I was? So that eventually led me into more of a holistic type mindset of care. So I did mention I was getting seen by a chiropractor throughout some of this. The interesting thing enough, and the chiropractor was a great guy. He adjusted well, great philosophy. But as he should have, you know, if you're not getting cleared with the migraine headaches, you know, he referred me out to a neurologist who led me on this path somewhat of this medical cocktail, even though I was having this medical cocktail most of my life.
Right.
But it was the next chiropractor who moved to a different area that changed my life. So he went to Life University where I went to school, and he was the first person that said, you know, how long have you been getting these headaches? How long have you been getting these migraines? And, you know, going back 12, 13, the common misconception with a lot of times in chiropractic is like, well, if you don't fix me in 1 or 2 visits, like, well, this is a bunch of bullshit, or it's not going to help, you know, whatever. We're going back at that point 15 years of continued trauma to my spine. So he's the only one that really took films of my neck region. And now even in the medical literature, it has shown and proven that there is a huge cervical spine, neck spine component when you have concussion, because it's a whiplash injury.
Right.
You get in a car accident, what happens? You typically get some form of whiplash.
Yeah, sure.
Concussion's the same thing. So I had significant damage to my cervical spine that was not addressed by anyone until this doctor. And it started the process of healing. You know, I have not had a migraine headache now, I want to say since 2012, 13.
Wow.
I did have sustained probably my worst concussion of my life, actually when I was in chiropractic school, but bounced back a lot quicker than the last time. Throughout my chiropractic process, I still had migraine headaches. Eventually, we did decrease frequency, decreased intensity, to the point now I don't have a migraine headache. And when I went to chiropractic school, I was still getting off the cocktail meds, because you can't just come off these things cold turkey. It's like a heroin addict. Right. You know, you're going to fiend for it, or, you know, your symptoms can get worse. So you have to gradually reduce down, sometimes add other meds in so you don't have a psychological breakdown, but also so your body doesn't tweak out. So from that, I have to detox off that medication. And then the healing really started. And we corrected the issue in my cervical spine, and I'm here to tell the tale. But, you know, in that process, you know, I had suicidal ideations, and I shared that in the meeting. I mean, if you're living day in, day out in pain, as many people do, and the answer is just to take these drugs to like dumb you down. And I'm not bashing medicine. I'm very thankful for medicine. I'm very thankful for the triage of our medical community, especially in today's world. But there's a time and place for it.
Sure.
And if that's not working either, why are we increasing my meds, and why are we doing this stuff? And I didn't just go to like some Joe Schmo like that, you know, barely got through like Caribbean medical school. Like I went to Thomas Jefferson University Hospital, you know? So yeah, that's kind of like what got me interested in chiropractic. My first love was actually probably physical therapy. And I was actually more interested in doing like a DPT, doctor of physical therapy program. Because of my personal experience in chiropractic care, I decided to go a step further, because, as I mentioned, I worked at a veterans hospital. Yeah. As you can imagine, a lot of those patients, chronic pain, chronic issues, and I can attest to this because I treated a lot of those patients. Their answers at that time were opioids. And the VA is well aware of that, because they've come out and said that, and they know it's an issue, and they're trying to change those issues. Actually, and I will give kudos to the VA hospital. They're one of the only hospital network systems that have chiropractors now on their staff.
And you were one of those chiropractors.
So I graciously turned them down.
So you turned them down, but what were you doing at the VA? I thought you
So I was what's termed a kinesiotherapist. Okay. So pretty much a kinesiotherapist is an exercise physiologist. I also worked kind of as a physical therapy assistant. A lot of people think I was a physical therapist. I was not a physical therapist. My background, I worked in athletic training offices with ATCs. I worked with PTs. I worked with osteopaths. I worked with the whole medical community. I was in charge of the rehab for nursing home, hospice, psychiatric ward. When someone finishes, and this is a nice thing about the VA too, that doesn't necessarily happen in the private sector. When someone finishes physical therapy at the VA, they don't just cut you loose and say, okay, goodbye, see you when you have an issue again. They transition you to a kinesiotherapist to then expand upon your rehabilitative process. So let's say you come in with a back injury. Okay, we got you to a point where you're out of pain, or we minimalized it. Now let's set you up on an exercise regimen to make sure that this doesn't become a recurring issue from an exercise standpoint. So that was my role with the PTs.
Oh, right on, man. So that was a lot of heavy information.
That's like 80 more podcasts.
I know.
It's time for our sponsor. Go ahead.
Who's our sponsor today?
Oh, it's just us, just FXV. Woo! But I mean, you can shout out whoever you want. Knoebels sponsor. Knoebels sponsor us, please.
No, we're gonna shout out Core Health Chiropractic. Core Health Chiropractic, right here on State Hill Road. Check out their website, corehealthberks.com. Corehealthberks.com. The reason why I bring Dr. Jason on is because he's changed my life. It has, and Sarah. You know, Sarah helped me with. I used to get like these really bad leg pains on the side of my legs, and I was like, you know, look, all right, I'm a big dude. Okay, I'm not gonna say, you know, whatever. You can all see that, but I always just said, well, I'm just fat and I'm stupid and I don't do anything. I don't walk, blah blah blah. You know, I'm just doing this to myself. And then I let Sarah know about it, and says like, well, you know, you should come in and like, you know, let me do some work on you and etc. And we go in and, you know, we do the whole workup. Like, she sent me to go get X-rays, and she starts doing her thing. And I remember announcing at PAC that, you know, I was having these pains every night. Like every night I had this pain, and I would have to literally wake up and turn over on my side to get rid of the pain on one side, then turn to the other side and get rid of the pain. This is like every night. And it was just insane. It really sucked, man. And I was like, well, you know, what's this kooky doctor going to do for me? Yeah. You know, but I'm like, well, you know, if she's going to use me for social media, I might as well see what she's about. And then I started feeling I was like, holy shit, man. Like, the pain's gone. Yeah. Like, I was like, wow, the pain is gone. And then you started working with Core Health because you were somewhere else first. And then you came down with Sarah, and you guys became the dream team of chiropractic care here. And then you started treating me, and the biggest problem I had was my knee. My right knee tore my meniscus years ago moving. I still remember the exact moment when it happened. And you started treating me for that. And apparently my spine was all jacked up also. I have a lot of pride in my one injury. When you had Rick looking at me, you're like, oh, see, he has a whatever in his spine. Yeah. That's probably from him headbanging for years in the band. And I was like, I'll take that one. I'll take that one with pride.
So yeah, if you don't mind me sharing.
Go for it.
So yeah, Fred has some calcified ligaments in the lower portion of his neck, which is usually related to some significant repetitive trauma, like a motor vehicle accident or in football player. For Fred's case, it's because he was for people that don't know, in this awesome band where he would repeatedly do some headbanging to Slayer, among many others. And your body's smart, which is, I love it, and it heals on its own, and that's what chiropractic is. And his body developed calcifications in these ligaments so that he would not injure his spine further.
Yeah, I'm so fucking metal. I have calcium in my neck.
Yeah, Dimebag doesn't have that.
No, I guess not. But yeah, man, you know, going to see you guys. Yeah. You know, that was one thing. What I will say for people out there, if you have anything going on, like I know you have medical doctors, and I still have Dr. Sunvu. I go to him. He's awesome. He takes care of me, blood work and all that crazy stuff. Yeah. I urge you to check out chiropractic care. It's not like, I know maybe back in the day, there's always a stigma of, if I go once, I'm going to have to go all the time. I'm never going to feel the same, blah, 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 blah. That's not the case, man. Like, you know, they do the x-rays. They go through your whole body. The other thing that's cool about you guys is it's not just about getting you straightened out. I know I like to say that shit all the time, like I'm gonna get straightened out by Jason. All good.
Yeah.
It's not even the only thing, because I've been there. I'm like, hey, I have problems sleeping. You should try this, or like, I think the latest thing I was doing was magnesium. And Dr. Sarah prescribed that for me a while ago. Essential oils. I know Claire does it. Claire Ferrara, what's up? Shout out. Right. She's awesome. But even you guys, have that stuff there also. Yeah. And now that new CBD cream that you have, that Sarah so graciously made me punch the table in pain when she was trying to like rub that thing out. My holy shit,
soft tissue work. Yeah.
But even that worked. Like, okay, I was stupid and took the snowblower out of my truck. Yeah. And I couldn't even do this and turn my hand. Now I'm like, totally, like it's like almost totally gone.
It's awesome.
And I went in there and you were doing the tape and helped me out and doing like all these, what do you guys call them when you do the ultrasound and stuff?
Oh yeah, some of the passive therapies to get rid of inflammation.
Yeah. So I mean, I urge you to check out Core Health Chiropractic. I urge you to check out what they're doing there. It's not just what you think it is. Go in there, get your spine straightened out, because it affects a lot more than you think. And you still do some of that voodoo magic on me when you like lift up your right leg and it's like me, and then you're like, okay, let me push down over here. Now do your right leg, and then it's like up in the air. And I'm like, what the hell is this guy doing? And still, it's been how many years now? 4 or 5 years, and I'm still just like, whoa. Like watch it's just it's insane.
You say loving what you do, like that's what I love. So seeing your success stories, obviously, working with patients is awesome. But yeah, I'm honest when I say I'm amazed by what the human body is able and capable of doing, and that's I get to witness and see that every day. Mm-hmm. So that's what makes me appreciate and love what I'm able to do.
Mm-hmm.
And people love you guys.
Yeah.
Like tons of people go there. I know my kids go there. My mother-in-law goes there. Obviously, my wife works there.
Yeah.
But she's special. She gets to get whenever she wants. She gets taken care of there. But a lot of people love you guys. It's definitely visible in your culture, and that's the other aspect of Core Health and you guys. Outside of like, okay, you help the community and you're helping them, achieve all these milestones and get better. People honestly like going to your office.
Yeah.
Like it's it might sound cliche, but it's definitely a family type atmosphere. Like you walk in there, everybody knows who you are. I mean, I know there's, obviously Jill, there's Becca, there's Courtney, there's Rick, there's Sarah, there's Jason, first and foremost. You walk in and then the vibe in the place is great. There's chalkboard drawings around the place. There's a beta fish, there's t-shirts and there's decorations, like good old classic decorations. I went in the other day, St. Patrick's Day. Yeah. You just like, you go in there.
You gotta rep the Irish. My last name is Balthaser, but my mom's maiden name's Sullivan. You gotta keep that in there.
Yeah, dude. And you feel good walking in there. It's a great place. You never feel.
Well, thank you. Appreciate that.
Like, and that's I think a huge thing in business nowadays that people tend to maybe just forget about. They run their business. And I'm not saying they don't do a good job, but they run their business. Thank you very much. Have a nice day.
Right.
And it's over. And the relationship part of business is where you really, I think, achieve success. And when you can sit there and greet every one of your patients. I mean, well, how many patients do you guys have now? Like,
it's.
I know it's hundreds.
It depends. Yeah.
But I know for a fact that when you see one of your patients walk in there, you know their history, you know their name, you know exactly what's going on. You take care of them. Like, there's no like, oh, let me look at this chart and let me go look at this. Like, you're just like, boom. Like even just now when you were like, oh, Fred has calcified, blah, blah, blah. I don't even remember. And I'm the patient. And I remember. And that's a testament to you guys. Like you really do care. And you treat everybody there with such great care and great customer service and all those wonderful things. And I think that's what took you guys from literally a business at Berks Elite Training in this small little office, about as big as my office where I work.
It's smaller than this room. Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
It was just Sarah in the beginning.
Yeah.
To where you're in this new place, or well, you've been there for a minute now, but seeing an average of over 300 people a week.
Yeah.
In a mere 4 years.
Yeah, I want to say Sarah started more in Berks Elite Training 2016, so
almost 5 years.
4 or 5 years. Yeah,
that's insane, dude.
Yeah, I've been with Core Health more since we were on the State Hill Road. Kind of
That's
near,
right.
near
You
the
showed
end
up right
of the
before you moved
BUT.
there.
Yeah. So that was probably 2017, 18 time frame. Yeah.
So I mean, that's killer.
Yeah.
You know, from going from, I tell people the story all the time. Like, yo, these guys are my one of my best clients. I remember walking into the old place, and they always had time for me. Now, I have to make an appointment or talk to their mother helping me out with my own care.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
well, you know, you give me all the credit, which I appreciate. But I also want to give, you know, FXV a big shout out there too. I mean, it's if you would have looked at our website before we used Freddie's services, it was laughable at best. And we used a professional person that handles chiropractors' websites, and it was horrible. It was horrible. No one be looking at that website and be like, oh, I'm going to go see these guys. So what I loved about FXV, and I say this to literally anyone, is you listen to the client and you kind of get an interest in what's going on in their culture and what they're want and feel. And you have to deal with my wife, Sarah, and, you know, everything she wants with that.
Her awesome ideas,
which are awesome, but,
awesome ideas.
You know, just diving through that. So, you know, from a marketing perspective, we're able to help the masses because we are more known on the social media presence. You know, you look up, I challenge anyone watching here, look up chiropractic websites and you tell me which one you like the best. And I guarantee you, one, you're probably going to find Core Health in your search engine probably the fastest, but also the website's going to be the fastest out of any of them. And aesthetically pleasing, but also you'll see our culture based off of that website.
Yeah, thanks, man. I mean, it's easy to do great work when you work with great people. I mean, that's the thing. I was even talking to a client today, and they were like, well, you know, or like, is it going to be, you know, tell us why we should do this, tell us why we should do that. And the first thing I said out of their mouths was, listen, number one, I don't want to force you into any kind of contract or anything. I really don't have contracts. I don't. Like, which is bad, and Russ is going to kill me for saying that, but we're working on it. But I don't mean even like, okay, here's a contract to build the website. Yes, we'll have those, but there's no like, okay, now you have to sign up for us for a year. Right. Or we take it hostage or anything.
Same with us. Same with us,
It's just like, hey, man, this is what it is. Yeah. If you want to be part of it, please, let's do it. Because I want you to work with us. I don't want you to like feel like you have to work with us. If you don't like working with us, it's cool, man. Absolutely. No beef. Like, you do you, I'll do me. Like, it's okay. And I explained it to a client today, and they actually were like into it. They're like, all right, that's cool, man. Like, I'm not in this just to like make you sign a contract and keep you hostage for a year, 2 years, 3 years. No, I want to have a relationship. Yeah. I want to have a great time. And I do. Every one of my clients, we have a great time, great relationship. I love hanging out with them. I mean, we've hung out a million times, you know. So, I mean, and it's just all the culture. It's all just having a good time and vibing off each other, you know.
Well, I think it comes a lot also just from, you know, hey, I am not a marketing guru or genius. I could not do a website to save my life. So I got to listen to what you're telling me to do or try. Or as I tell my patients, you know, the patients that have the most success are the people that, one, go all in, and two, follow the prescribed recommendations. Sure. If you just like anything in life, you're going to half-ass it or you're going to not go all in, you're not going to get the results. So the same thing, you know, you tell us to do something, we do it, but we see results. You know, patients are finding us somehow, you know, so.
I don't know.
I attribute it to the work that you're doing. So.
No, man, thanks, dude. Yeah. It's easy. Again, I tell all my clients that I'm like, look, Core Health, they're like my best clients, but they listen to me. Yeah. They never question me. They go, okay, you know, and they just go. Yeah. And I'm like, it's been almost 5 years now. Go do a search for chiropractic. Just go do it. Yeah. Let me know what happens. You know, I was like, it's all there. The branding's there. Like it's a whole big thing. So for sure, man.
And it's not generic.
No, it's not. None of it's generic.
You will not find on our website anything that looks like, and this isn't bashing other chiropractors either. I mean, they have some good content too, I'm sure, but it shows us, you know, you created it with us. You know, it's
team effort, man.
It's not like like we used before, I mentioned some person that specializes in chiropractic websites. It's cookie cutter. Mm-hmm. You know, if every one of them if I went to another one of that person's client, it looked exactly the same with a different name. Right. You know, ours is not that now. No. So that says something.
Yeah, dude. And we're building a new one. We're getting ready to start doing a refresh. Awesome. It's time for a new fresh coat of paint. And with that being said,
I'm gonna jump in. I'm taking the stage.
There she goes. We've been talking to. We got along so well. We can talk forever.
I know. But I'm just gonna interrupt because Stefano said Dr. Jason helped me clear my migraines amongst many other things. Can't thank him enough. And then Sarah said we love our Jill. And
we do love our Jill. We, with that, I give Freddie a lot of credit. I give Jill Vasquez tremendous credit because we would not be where we are able to do what we do if it was not for her. And the rest of our staff too, Becca, Courtney, Dr. Henrique. But Jill is the office. And when people call our office, they expect Jill to be on the phone. They text our office. You're able to text our office, which I think is pretty cool. And they're texting it like it's her personal cell phone, which that's awesome. That's the vibe that you're getting.
Yeah, definitely. And then Becca said, we love all of our patients like family. Sarah said, Becca and Courtney for the decor and the fish. They're the best.
Oh, the fish.
And then Stefano said, again, I can attest to that. Freddie did an amazing job with the Ampersand Integrative Wellness website. Best working relationship.
Absolutely. And if you need personal training, by the way, Stefano Sarge, 100%.
Stefano's great.
I will tell all patients of mine that we co-manage improve tremendously faster. And I have full trust sending my patients to them because I know they're going to get a great care and not just. And I'll use this as an example. I had a patient that went to Gold's Gym, which is no longer here anymore, has a herniated disc because the trainer not knowledgeable, didn't listen to the client. You're not going to get that from Stefano. So
no, he's the best. I mean, see these guns? Look at these guns.
Woo!
Woo. That's all Stefano right there. Stefano, deadlifted 315. 315, Stefano.
So what's up?
Stefan was like, you can do it. You can do it. So I did it. So, Stefan, you're my boy, man. So what's up with Core Health, bro? Like, we got a few minutes left.
Sure.
What are the goals? Like, what are you guys looking to do next? Like, what's going on with Core Health? Like,
sure.
Or maybe even personal goals. Like, what do you got going on, bro?
So I love that you just brought up goals. So something we do with our staff really quarterly almost sometimes, definitely every year. Goals can change or they can be adapted, especially in this past year more than ever.
Sure.
Big goal of mine, and I think the teams and from a Core Health perspective, is we want to continue to grow. We want to add more services in. We are hoping to include the medical community in that endeavor because we talked a lot about some negatives that I experience with medical care, but there's a ton of positives. And you mentioned you have a regular checkup with your doctor, your primary care provider, among other things, and that's important, and everyone should have that as well. And I'm very thankful for our medical community, especially what they're doing in today's world. My wife, Dr. Sarah, had blood clots in her legs with our last son, Wyland.
That's right.
If we didn't have the medical community to triage that and take care of that, well, Dr. Sarah wouldn't be here. So I'm very thankful and my son. So I'm very thankful for the medical community. So we want to offer some medical services in our practice, physical therapy in our practice, massage therapy in our practice. Get that integrative. We co-manage with a lot. As you mentioned, I co-manage with Stefano a lot with personal training. We co-manage with a lot of providers in the area, but we want to bring some of those providers on with Core Health.
Right on, man. So that's now. What about you?
Yeah.
What do you got? Like, what's some personal goals for yourself?
So I've been. I started getting back into playing some soccer again. So I didn't go into detail with my last concussion, but I literally shattered the left side of my face as my last concussion. So I got cleated across the face. So this beautiful face right here, this is fake. Like half my face. Seriously, I have a fake cheek. I have metal here. I can't feel this. Like the surgeon did a fabulous job. I hate
to laugh, but that's
it's So they did a great job, and I also will say chiropractic care I bounced back within a month.
Wow.
From that.
Holy shit.
So amazing. But I don't even know where I was going with that. What was the question? Oh, my goals.
Soccer.
So I started playing some soccer again.
Yeah, right on.
a big thing for Sarah and myself, actually, we used to really be into triathlons and cycling. So I've always wanted to eventually do an Ironman.
Oh.
By no means am I ready to do an Ironman, nor am I going to put that as a goal for this year, because it's not going to happen this year. But I want to get back into triathlons.
Right on.
So biking and swimming. I really want to spend time with my children. I love spending time with my children. My kids are going to get involved in soccer themselves.
I bet they are.
So there is a spring season that they're going to get started with this upcoming spring. So I'm looking forward to that. Hopefully be able to coach with them a little bit, spend some time.
Right
and yeah, just have fun. I want to have fun. Not that I have not been having fun, but kind of spend my valuable time not just in the business, which is important, but making time for myself, but also making time for my kids and Sarah and my family.
No, for sure, dude.
Yeah,
that's I can get behind that.
Before we sign out, I just want to say, Miss Jessica Keene said, Dr. Jason and Sarah helped me recover from my second hip replacement. So
Jess.
power to you guys for helping her out with her hip replacement, keeping her happy and healthy.
Thank you, Jess.
Oh,
Appreciate
nice
it.
job there, guys.
Yeah, awesome. She did the work. I call it, you're doing the work, I just facilitate a little bit.
Hey, man, there you go, dude. So before we sign off, on my end, huge Stone Temple Pilots fan.
I love STP.
And even though, I think you might have admitted it now, your son's name is Wyland.
My son's name is Wyland.
Spelled differently?
Spelled differently. I like naming my kids after sex-crazed drug addicts, apparently, but no.
That's okay.
I guess it happened.
No, I always, we love, a lot of, I've heard anyway, a lot of parents tend to fight over naming their kids. That has never been a thing for Sarah. It's more like either I mention something, she mentions something, we both mention something, and it just comes to fruition. So like my daughter's name's Ella and Raya. In the Jewish tradition is to take certain letters from past relatives that have passed and formulate a name.
I didn't know that.
So my daughter's name, Raya, is formulated from past members of family. It's actually a Russian Jewish name. And there's actually a new Disney movie named Raya.
Yes, I didn't know
spelled differently. But we spelled our Raya's name based off of that lettering, but also the way that the Disney movie spells it's Raaya. I look at that and I think Raya. Mm-hmm. And I thought people would call my daughter Raya, even though her name is Raya. So we added an H that is after one of Sarah's ancestors that passed, but RHYA. And then my daughter
really
Ella is, thank you. My daughter Ella, the same. And then Wyland is, so this was actually Dr. Sarah's doing, believe it or not. I'm very musical. I love music. I actually wanted to be a music teacher. That's another podcast.
Wow, that would have been cool.
Yeah, getting out of high school. And so I always love music. I love STP. Scott Weiland is one of the best vocalists, I think, of the past, I'd say, 2-3 decades. I'm not saying the best, but one of the best vocalists.
One of the best, for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And just his charisma on stage and confidence on stage and, demons aside of what he went through, musical genius. And I always just loved the name Weiland. I thought that was cool. And Sarah's like, hey, what's we're actually thinking of naming Weiland Zephyr.
Zephyr.
After the because one of my favorite bands is the Chili Peppers and the Zephyr song.
Oh, my Zephyr.
Right. So Zephyr was on the list among others, and Sarah's like, "Wait, who's that?" Because when I play guitar, I play a lot of STP, and I sing Scott Weiland's lyrics and everything else. And she's like, "What's that STP singer's name?" I'm like,
she doesn't know his name.
Sarah doesn't know any. The interesting thing about Dr. Sarah, okay?
Oh boy.
This is about the 120th podcast. So, Dr. Sarah's favorite band is Cake.
I was gonna say she loves Cake.
Okay. Cake is a great band.
Cool band. I love them.
But let's really think about this. Whose favorite band is Cake?
Sarah.
Dr. Sarah. Okay, and I have some fond memories of Cake songs. I think they're great musicians. I've seen them live in concert. And if you go see him live in concert, you'd be like, oh, yeah, that's why these are all Dr. Sarah's here. Yeah, it's just a certain individual.
It's all Dr. Sarah.
But that's actually one of the reasons, because I distinctly remember when we first met, I knew that her favorite band was Cake, and that I loved.
Right.
I loved that her favorite band was Cake because it was interesting to me.
Yes.
And I love music, and I liked learning the process of why she loves Cake. But no, she does not know one name of that band.
Wow.
She doesn't know any band names or anything. And she knows Scott Weiland. I mean, I said Scott Weiland. She's like, oh, what about Weiland? I'm like, oh, that's badass.
It's a cool name.
He's going to be a cool kid. He's cool because
he already is a cool kid.
He's a cool dude.
Yeah.
He's a cool dude.
It's
cool, as I'm sure you can attest, seeing your child
that kid's mad
grow into what they phenomenally are. So I'm seeing that in my girls right now. I'm seeing that in my son every day, and that's really cool.
No, right on, man.
We got another message from the Facebooks, Miss Monica Knoll, or Monica Johnson Knoll. She said, Dr. Jason and Sarah have helped me in so many of my patients, and love being able to refer to them. They've been such a good addition to the community.
Thank you, Monica. And if you want to talk about specialists, Monica is a phenomenal nurse practitioner, orthopedic specialist.
Awesome.
And a lot of, if my patients do need any type of orthopedic triage, she graciously does that for me. And what I love about their service, and she works through Penn State Health Hershey community, is, you think you go to an orthopedic specialist surgeon, you're automatically going to get cut or injected or scoped or anything. That is not the case with them. You're not a number. They will listen to you. Surgery is an inevitable option at times, and if it's needed, you'll be triaged for that. But you're not going to go there and automatically get a surgery.
Right on.
So I'm very appreciative of her care as well. So thank you.
There you go.
Thanks, Monica, for being you. Amazing.
All right, man. Top 5 STP tracks.
Woo!
Go.
Wow.
Don't think about it.
Wow.
First 5 to just jump into your head.
Okay, so the one that first up jumps in my head, I Love It Live. I have been fortunate to see Stone Temple Pilots live 3 or 4 times.
I've seen them 3 times.
And I saw Scott Weiland by himself, and I won't even talk about that disaster of a show. But STP, Cracker Man.
Great song.
With the megaphone.
I am. That's one.
That's awesome. Yep. Dead and Bloated. Yep. Absolutely. Wicked Garden.
Oh, that's right. Cracker Man's different. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's all right, man. Yeah.
Wicked Garden.
Cracker Man, Dead and Bloated. You have to love Plush, the acoustic version of Plush.
The acoustic version, which was like a one-off on like a MTV show. Or
Unplugged, right?
Yeah, some shit like that. Yeah, that was cool.
I actually love, Big Bang.
Yes, Big Bang.
It's funny. So Sarah's roommate in college, undergrad at Bloomsburg, which everyone should go to Bloomsburg because Bloomsburg. Shout out to Bloomsburg. It's awesome. When my son was born, she just sent me a video of Scott Weiland saying "Big Bang Baby," which I thought which was awesome. So shout out to Sheila.
There you go.
Yeah.
Cool, man.
So I think I was maybe 6 or 7. I could go all night, man. You want to talk music? Let's talk music.
Forget it, bro.
Let's have a round table.
Whole other thing.
Absolutely.
I would love to do a round table with like local people that like are into music, like we are. Like that's the thing. Like you're a great chiropractor. I do marketing, but like music was definitely a big part of my life.
I just like you. I love classical. I love rock. Obviously, you want to talk hip, but you want to talk gangster rap. Let's talk gangster rap, man.
Guy. The biggest ginger on the planet.
I love it. I love it.
Biggie.
Get me some Compton, man.
Oh shit! All right, man. Well, look, thanks for having me. Thanks for being here, bro. I mean, it's always a good time hanging out with you and talking and just like having conversations with people, man. People I give a shit about. People I know that do great things in the community. So I appreciate you coming here and taking some time, bro. No, thanks for having me. Appreciate everything you do and for the community and. Love Berks County, man. Let's make it a great place. It's a great day for a great day. Let's create something awesome. Yeah, baby. That's how we do it. All right, man. Thank you for checking out this episode of Fred Talk. Visit us online at fxvdigital.com or your favorite social network at FXV Digital. Don't forget, you can check out past episodes of Fred Talk on our YouTube channel. Make sure you like, subscribe, and hit that notification button. And for Dr. Jason, Balthaser, Angie, and myself, thank you for watching. And never forget, your Uncle Freddie loves you, baby. Peace out. Yay! Cool. Cool again.